Hi YouTube, Luminous Star here. Welcome to my channel, Luminous Star. If this is your first time visiting, welcome, welcome. Current subscribers, thank you so much for your subscription. Guys, this video is entitled When You're Tested. Now, this is going to be about those of us who have had toxic relationships with narcissists. And now we're on the road to recovery. We're taking those steps. We've already started. So we're putting our lives back together. We are reclaiming our lives. And we have a strong sense of ourselves again, right? Things are going pretty well. Now, a part of that is going to be the testing. We're going to be tested. Yeah, I know, not fun, but it's very effective and it's very necessary. I used to look at that as like, okay, why am I being, re-victimized? Why am I going through this again? I've already been through enough in these toxic relationships. So I did not look at the testing as something that was necessary or necessarily serving me, but it was. So I shifted my perception as I continue on in my recovery and my healing from these toxic relationships, particularly with the narcissist, right? So when we're tested, that's what this video is about, okay? When we're tested. Okay, I'm going to give 3 points. And at the end of the video, please leave comments and questions. And I also want to make a side note right here. Guys, you've been sending me some awesome comments. So I really appreciate this. Questions, excellent questions. Now, usually I try to answer those questions within 1 to 2 days. Okay, so keep those questions and those comments coming. I absolutely love it, guys. All right, here we go. First point, check out your stuck points, right? Check out your stuck points. Now, I don't know what those stuck points are. There are a lot of those stuck points out there. I know I had to identify mine. So this is a very personal thing. Check out your stuck points. Point number 2, actually point number 1 pretty much correlates with point number 2 because they kind of go together. Your past. Using your past as a reference guide only, right? I had to become disciplined with that. Instead of looking at my past and getting stuck there or repeating the past, right? Or becoming filled with nostalgia because there are certain people and places that I used to, like to go to certain places, like to hang out with certain people, and also had certain people, even in my past, that were in my family. We're still part of the same family tree, but certain narcissistic family members, right? I was so familiar with them that sometimes I would be filled with nostalgia. Some of the few good times that we had, I would want it back again, and I would find myself stuck in the past, reliving the past, right? So being stuck in the past and not knowing my stuck points, they kind of go hand in hand because they can affect one another, right? So let me give you an example. The stuck points could be guilt. One of my stuck points could be guilt. The narcissist says something, does something to cause me trauma, hurt, pain, anger, you name it. So the relationship is absolutely toxic with the narcissist, right? No doubt. However, whenever I defend myself, whenever I stand up to the narcissist, whoever that person may be, I feel guilty, even though I have a justifiable reason for defending myself. The subconscious mind is very powerful, right? So if I was taught as a little child from a narcissistic parent, right, to feel guilty, then that's what's going to happen. Especially if I'm dealing with a narcissist and I'm standing up to him or her, that subconscious programming is still there. So it's going to, be at work. Absolutely. So I'm going to feel guilty, even though physically I'm no longer a child, but I'm going to go back to that childlike state and feel guilty whenever I defend myself. That is a stuck point, right? So we have a lot of stuck points, but only you can identify what those stuck points are. I'm going to recap. Point number 1, stuck points. Identify your stuck points. Get clear on it. This is going to really arm you and give you a lot of ammunition to reclaim your life back from the narcissist. Please, I can guarantee you on that. Get clear on your stuck points. Point number 2, using your past as a reference guide only. Guys, it took me trial and error to get that one down pat, but I got it. I only use my past right now as a reference guide. So whenever I look at my past, it is only as a reference guide. When I speak of my past, reference guide, that's it. I don't speak a language, or I don't even behave, I don't even entertain repeating my past, going back into my past and staying stuck there. No. So I use my past as a reference guide only. That's it. So sometimes, you know, for instance, I used to be filled with nostalgia, as I was telling you guys before. And I would maybe reintroduce the narcissist back in my life. Haven't seen this person in 5 years, maybe 10 or more. It's a narcissist. In the past, the track record has been narcissistic injury, abusive behavior. You guys get the picture. Not such a great relationship, toxic relationship. Here it is 5 years later, and I'm giving them a place in my life again. Why? Because I'm filled with nostalgia. Stuck point, feeling guilty. If I stand up to this person, yes, 5 years later, I stand up to them, I feel guilty. Oh, I feel bad, because maybe they really didn't mean it. Not right. So I just want you guys to see how point number 1 and point number 2 can pretty much correlate with one another, right? And it actually can keep you, it can work against you instead of for you. So point number 1, again, get clear on your stuck points. Point number 2, use your past as a reference guide. Third and final point, see the purpose, okay? See the purpose of that relationship or those toxic relationships. See identify them. What was the purpose? What was the purpose of those relationships? That's very important, because the narcissist will use that against you. If you're not clear okay, let me break it down this way. Because a lot of us don't really look at the purpose, the real purpose of all of those toxic relationships. Matter of fact, because every relationship that we've ever had, good, bad, so what, so, all of those, every last one of them served a purpose. And I know at first, guys, I didn't even want to look at that. I did not want to look at that. Why was I involved with the narcissist? Not just romantically, but this can be family members. Why were they in my life? For instance, why did I have narcissistic parents? Why did I have a codependent parent? All those things. And there's nothing wrong with asking those questions. My point is this. Look at the purpose of it. Because every life has purpose, and so does every relationship. Whether we want to believe it, whether we like it or not. Every relationship has purpose. Every life has purpose. So get clear on what the purpose of those toxic relationships were. If you have to journal, start journaling. If you have to write angry letters, do it. If you take a microphone or recorder and start speaking into the mic, start recording, journal that. Get that stuff down and get it out of you. Journaling is a symbolic way of getting that stuff out of you. Get those toxicities out of you. Get it out. All the trauma. This is the result of those toxic relationships with a narcissist in particular. You got to get that stuff out of you. It's time to stop carrying. Stop carrying the shame of the narcissist. Stop carrying their anger, their pain, their hurt. Because again, narcissists, they like to project their stuff on people. And that doesn't exclude children. Sometimes, actually, most of the time, narcissistic parents, that's exactly what they do to their children. They put all their shame and guilt and all the stuff that they don't like about themselves, and they project it on the child. It's sick, sad, and sadistic, but it's true. So get clear on what the purpose of all those relationships were. I don't care how, it could have been 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10 toxic relationships. Get clear on the purpose of them all. I'm not saying you have to answer to why. No, you don't. You don't know why they did that. You don't know why the narcissist behaved like that towards you. You really don't know the story behind the story. And even if you do, You don't answer for, you can't answer for that, because that's not your life. See, your life has purpose. Their life has purpose. Their life, they're on a life journey, so are you. So am I. Right? The bottom line is this. Every last one of us, we're responsible for our own life. We're responsible for our own life. And really, at the end of the day, we're responsible for saving ourselves. Some people will disagree with me. That's okay. But at the end of the day, we really are, because we're responsible for our lives. That's just another way of saying you have to save yourself. That's just another way of putting it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Wherever you are, take care of yourself. And again, come back and see me. All right, guys, take care. Mwah.